Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Today I've got a new device to review. Helium Deploy sent over the Nubila Marco, which is a weather monitoring device. Now, the last weather monitoring device I got from them was pretty awful that I didn't even make a video on it. So we're gonna test this one out, see if it's actually worth anything, and see if it's in addition to my farm or if we just kind of set it up and never hear about it again. I am gonna be doing a giveaway in this video for channel members only. This is a Bidax Gamma. And I'm gonna be sending my personal one out to the winner. So all you have to do is hit the join button below, become a Modern Miner channel member, and then leave a comment with your location and anything else. So that's the giveaway. Let's get into the setup. Today's video is sponsored by Crypto Miner Bros, a reliable and highly trusted ASIC miner reseller. There are a couple huge benefits to buying from Crypto Miner Bros. The first is that the price on their website is the all-in price shipped to your door, no hidden fees. The second is that they have a massive selection of all the popular miners. My current favorite miner is the DG Home 1, which I got from Crypto Miner Bros. Don't forget to use code MODERN for $70 off each item regardless of price. Purchasing ASIC miners can be risky with tons of scams going around. Why not make it easy with Crypto Miner Bros? Check them out today with the link down below. So we will go through the Nubila project in a little bit. There's some things that I like about it and there's some things that I don't like about it. Right off the bat, I do like that it comes with a solar panel. My last little weather device I got from Helium Deploy didn't come with one and I actually had to purchase my own. Packaging is actually looking pretty clean here. So here's everything that came in the box along with a little quick guide here. You have a custom cable and it does say to make sure that you only use this charging cable. It's not compatible with fast chargers. Here is the device. You can see it's got the little wind propellers in there and then the Nubila logo there. And this is a little pivotable mount that I went ahead and installed. You've also got a little mount right here along with the solar panel with that same kind of gray cabling. So I'm gonna get this thing plugged in and see if we can set it up before we mount it. I'd rather do it in here. It is raining outside right now. So I was trying to plug in the cable over here, but the mount is actually in the way. So I'm thinking you probably need to install the mount afterwards. See, yeah, because that sits totally flush now. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and plug this into a power brick. And hopefully it doesn't fry since they said it doesn't accept fast charging, but they didn't provide their own power brick. So hopefully the cable is what is the limiting factor here. I'm not seeing any sort of indicator light, but let's just go ahead and get on the app and see if we see something there. Okay, so I was mistaken here. There is a little light right here, and I actually already hooked this thing up. It's hard to do because I film with my phone, but it was incredibly easy. I will say, this is actually the simplest depin device I've ever hooked up. Fingers crossed, start getting rewards tomorrow. This is gonna be a multi-day video so we can cover all of that. But that's very impressive. My one gripe with depin devices is they are constantly either half-baked implementation or not ready for release, and the app appears clean. I'll pop some screenshots up on screen right now. Hookup was incredibly easy. You do have local weather monitoring through it, which is pretty cool, but very happy with that so far. So just scan this QR code and that was basically it. Now it does need to be 100% charged, and I actually just got a low battery alert on my phone right now. So it is charging up right now. Before we put it outside, we need to get it to 100. So we'll do that and then we'll get it installed. So a couple things about the Nubila project. It is in testnet, so that has its pros and its cons. You can't immediately sell anything you're getting from this and expect to make money on it. It's all in testnet, so it's basically imaginary coins. But the thought is that you get in super early, and then if it takes off as well, then the people who got in early are gonna make a lot more money than the people who did not or got in late. So that's kind of the gamble that you take here. So with that being said, this thing, it gets airdropped rewards until basically the token generation event, which I believe is supposed to be sometime in November, but we'll see about that. I've been burned before taking these companies for their words on when the kind of testnet going live is gonna be, and sometimes that's definitely not the case. So it's supposed to be in November, but I certainly would not purchase this in thought that it's definitely going to be going mainnet in November. That's just a risk factor you need to take into play. So Let's let this charge, and then I'll come back in about a day. We'll set this thing up and monitor what rewards we've gotten so far. There's also nodes to this project, but I basically have a no node policy on this channel. I kind of look at nodes as a little bit of like a pyramid scheme. Not to say that all of them are bad, and I haven't done a ton of research on these nodes, but that's just not something I generally promote on my channel. And I'm sure you guys appreciate that because there's a lot of people who do just blindly promote nodes. And to me, it's like all pyramid scheme. The first person to buy a node gets more money from the next people buying nodes, and then what do you know? It's a pyramid. So not saying that's the case here, but I will show you where to buy this on Helium Deploy and the nodes if you want to. The nodes essentially just make it so that you can earn Nubila tokens without actually having the device itself. You can get them from the node. All right, let's get this thing installed. So the app was constantly alerting me, you're at 20%, you're at 50%, and it took about 6 or 7 hours to get it 100% charged, which is good. I guess it's got a big battery on it. I am going to replace the solar panel that's out here. This is where my old Sky X, I think is what it was called, device was called, and that's the one that was like total crap. Definitely don't buy that one. But I think I can actually go ahead and use the existing mount here, at least for the device itself. So let me go ahead and just hang this over here right now. And this thing does need to be mounted perfectly up and down. If it detects an angle, then it's not going to work properly. So that's one thing you need to ensure. And it's a little bit annoying that you have to have the cable plugged in before you install any mount, but we're getting there. Okay. Seems relatively straight. So now, can I just use the existing mount for the solar panel? That would definitely be nice. It looks like I might be able to. So that Sky X one eventually stopped working out here. So I don't know if maybe water got where it wasn't supposed to, or the sun is too harsh or something in this area, but hopefully we don't have the same issue here. Now once we're finished setting this up, there's actually a bit more setup to do on the computer. I was celebrating too early when I said it was the easiest device I've ever set up. We need to do some things on there to get like our NFT mining license. When you purchase this, it comes with that, so it's not an additional fee. So we're gonna do that in a second here. Okay, that should be fine. Everything is installed correctly. This needs to be on there nice and tight so you can hear a little click. Save this mounting hardware for another day. Give you a nice close-up look here. I'll eventually do some cable management, but not today. I'm excited to get this thing set up. Quick intermediary stop. I've been having a lot of power issues and internet issues too. All 12 of my rigs are offline. I lost power last night at 12. 3 times in the last month, I've had instantaneous power outages where it goes off and then it's back on within a minute. But man, is it annoying having to manually log back into 12 rigs, get them all back on their platforms, and then of course you got to wait for the jobs too. So not only am I battling about 1 to 2 internet drops per month, I'm also battling power outages now, which is very annoying. But all right, let's go set up this Nubila on the computer. All right, here is the Nubila homepage. We'll go through this here in a second. Got to include the AI in it, Nubila.ai. Here is it on Helium Deploy, $2.99. If you use code MODERN in all caps, it is $30 off. We'll see at the end of the video if I actually recommend getting this device or not. But that is where the price is and where you can buy it from Helium Deploy. I will have a link down below. One thing to note is on the community depin rankings, so like GeoNet is #1, which makes a lot of sense. GeoNet is by far my favorite depin project. So it works very well. It actually does stuff with the data. Wingbits is up there too. And then Nubila is down here at rank 9. So it's certainly not bad. Entropy, I love my Entropy device, and that's 12. And same with Aether, I like that one too at 14. So it's ranked at least decently there. But it still has a long way to go as a project. So real quickly, let's take a look at their site. Basically, it's trying to collect weather data and then get more accurate decentralized weather data and do something with that. So there's been a couple things pitched. The first being helping with like business insurance for weather, where it's easier to get your claims because there's weather monitors basically on the property that can kind of prove that, hey, I experienced this weather on this date. Another thing that was recently brought up was like weather betting. Apparently there's a lot of weather betting going on, and this would kind of help decentralize that weather data that people are betting on. I don't know if I really like the kind of switch up from doing insurance and then pivoting to betting right before its release and right before the kind of big drop. That to me seems like they're just kind of fishing for hot topics. But who knows what they'll end up doing. We really care about potentially getting the token and hoping that it does good. So yeah, check out the site. I will have it linked down below. Now let's go ahead and set this thing up. So it is a little more complicated than I thought. The app itself, very easy to set up. I've already got my device hooked up. One thing I did want to show is the UI of the app is super nice looking. So I think I'm going to start using this app instead of like the Apple Weather app because it has like my exact local information, and it also has like forecasts for the 10-day and all that stuff. So it has everything that a normal weather app would have. It just is decentralized from a bunch of different monitors. So that's pretty cool, actually. Certainly, I don't know if it's worth $300, but that is a kind of cool feature that you can start using it as your weather app. So like I mentioned, setting the app up was very easy. Now we need to actually hook our device up to the Nubila network dashboard, and that's what we're looking at here. So we'll go down to earn, and the first thing that we need to do is connect our wallet. These are those nodes I was talking about. So $300 per node for this one. The Sunny node is $1,500. So these do kind of boost your earnings. But again, I'm not a node guy, and I wouldn't recommend purchasing the nodes. I'm not going to purchase one, so I wouldn't recommend purchasing one for you guys. But so we need to connect a wallet as the very first step. There is this article right here that I'm going to use to set up this device, and I'll have this link down below as well. So first thing we need to do is set up our wallet. So you have the option for Ethereum mainnet here, but apparently you have to use the VeChain network. I was not super familiar with this, but according to ChatGPT, vWorld is going to be the easiest option here. It is like a browser extension like MetaMask. So let's see here if I can easily get this installed, and then I'll have to write down my private key and all of that. So yeah, here we go, vWorld, add extension. And let me get this set up, and then we'll go back to setting the device up. Okay, I've got my wallet set up, so I should be able to go to Connect Wallet, VeChain, vWorld. We'll go ahead and approve this. If you already have a VeChain wallet, I don't know how popular that is. I would go ahead and make a new one for sure. You want to be careful signing any transaction on a kind of app that you're unfamiliar with. Okay, put our password in. It looks like everything worked out okay there. So now let's go back to the setup here. Now this is where I'm a bit concerned because Helium Deploy sent me this device, so I don't have like a receipt, and I somehow need to get my credential NFT. So let's see if this is easy or not. So if you already own a Marco, first identify how you purchased it. Purchased by other way is what I'm supposed to choose here. So let's see. So you want to go under Marco staking status and go to stake. Purchase by other way. So let's go ahead, and we're going to get a verification code to my email here. So unfortunately, I hate this shit. I have to somehow get some VTHO tokens to pay the gas fees to get this NFT. So let me figure out how to actually get some stuff in there, and then we'll move forward. Okay, so the good news is that you can buy this VTHO coin on Coinbase and send it to yourself. The bad news is I have an allow list on my Coinbase, which means if I want to send anything to an external wallet, I have to add it to the allow list. Wait 2 days for it to clear. So I'm going to see if somebody can just send me $1 worth. I literally need less than a cent. And then I'll check back in hopefully later this evening or maybe tomorrow, and we will get this added. It's I don't know if this is possible, but for something like this where the gas fees are less than a cent, like they should just give you 3 cents when you create a wallet on their platform or something. It would relieve a lot of headaches here. So this is a big pain point. Even though you can buy it on Coinbase, it's still very annoying. It's such a weird chain. Not sure why they couldn't do MetaMask or on Ethereum or on Solana or anything like that. So I will be back and then we will continue this process. All right, another day here, and I got someone in the Discord of Nubila to send me, I asked for $1. They sent me 8 cents. But the good news is 8 cents appears to be enough. So again, we're going to go to stake here, purchase another way. I don't believe I need to do this anymore since I've already hooked up my email, approve NFT. And let me enter my password here. And we can see we need 0.9 VTHO. I think they sent me 50, so it's less than a cent to approve it. Let's go ahead and hit confirm here and see what happened. Operation went well, and let's give it a little bit. All right, looks like I need to confirm another transaction here. This is to, I guess, stake the NFT. Good thing I have enough VTHO. I'm slowly running out of it, but again, less than 1 cent. Confirm again. Okay, transaction successful. So there we go. I can see my one Marco device. That's good. And I should start to earn my rewards now. So like I mentioned before, this project is in testnet. So basically my device is going to get airdropped kind of pre-rewards, so they know kind of whenever it goes live how many real tokens to give me. So it is technically like it's earning something, but again, you have the risk that maybe it never goes to mainnet, or maybe it goes to mainnet and all your kind of fake rewards turn out to be like 10 cent worth. There's a lot of uncertainty there. The same uncertainty, though, could mean that your rewards for a few months turn into a couple $100. It all really depends on the adoption of the project once it goes live. And with this being a weather device, unfortunately, it is a pretty crowded space. I mentioned I did the SkyX video. That device is terrible, but I know there's one called like WeatherX that I think is actually pretty popular and has let's say like customers so far. And that is really what I see the biggest issue with Nubila is it's all great ideas. They're getting the data, but can they kind of lock down the final aspect of the project, which is probably the hardest part, securing kind of a real world use case for this data, where someone is going to be kind of paying them for their decentralized weather data, and then that money is in turn returned to those who are running the decentralized devices. And like a lot of these projects, that's not confirmed yet. I mentioned earlier that they were going towards the kind of weather insurance route, and then at last minute's notice is switched to weather gambling route, which to me seems like it's just kind of a shot in the dark. So as far as if you should buy this miner, I would purchase the miner over the nodes. That's for certain. I got burned hard enough on my Neoxa node that I just don't really mess with them anymore. But the weather device also has the benefit that you get a cool new weather app. Granted, that's certainly not worth $300. So undecided right now. We're going to need to monitor what the rewards look like once it goes live. And if it turns out like a good project and we make good money off it, then I will certainly make a follow-up video on it. But at this point, I would say pretty risky and buy kind of at your own risk. So thanks for watching, guys. I will leave a couple more videos up here to check on your way out. And as always, peace.